Hello, my fellow classmates of IE 600. Today I have the honor of talking to Peter Heinegger, former mechanical engineering student here at U of L. My name is Paulo.
And my name is Ali El Saif.
Hi guys, it's great to be here with you today. Just a little background info on me. I went through the program and graduated last May, and now I'm working at GE Appliances.
My question for you is, what got you into starting 3D printing?
Well, I know everybody's heard of 3D printing. When I heard of it, I thought it was awesome, but I never thought it was possible for somebody like me. Until one day I was looking at online at prices, and I was like, man, that's affordable. It was $1,000, which it seems like a lot, but if you're willing to invest just a little bit of money, it opens up a bunch of opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
And people spend $1,000 on a new laptop, so I thought it's worth it to spend it on something that I can gear my whole future towards.
It's an investment, it's
Right.
something that's going to grow money out of.
That was what I felt. I felt like it was an investment in my future.
So, how complex is to use a 3D printer software and the printer itself?
The printer itself is very easy to use. The difficulty comes in the 3D modeling. So if you want to make your own files, you've got to have a little experience in 3D systems. I personally use SolidWorks, which they teach us here at school.
Yeah.
I had access to it. It's normally an expensive software, but we get it free through school.
Oh.
However, if you just want to use online files, there's a bunch of forums where really talented people have made files that you can just take an SD card, plug it into your computer, plug it into the printer, and you're good to go. So it just depends what you'd like to create, whether it's you want to create your own parts or somebody else's.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So, go ahead.
Yeah, because one of the things that we actually kind of had during Dr. Osborne's classes is that like the actual like ability to actually try and make something
Right.
in a software. And I'm myself a mechanical engineer. I've
Okay.
worked with that stuff, and I kind of like thought about actually buying a 3D printer, but at the same time I was not thinking that it might be actually like a good like side for me, I would say. So what would you think that like a message to give to mechanical engineers who are actually can build stuff like that and using SolidWorks?
I would say no matter your level of interest, it's worth it. I paid $1,000 for a good printer. You don't have a lot of problems to worry about. I know it was going to last me because I kind of wanted to use it for a business. But you can pay $250 to get a working small bed printer, maybe 4x6 bed. And as a mechanical engineer, to see your ideas come to life is incredible. Like you're working in a class, you come up with a part, you can print it and have it in 2 hours. And you don't have to want it for a business. You don't have to want it to make anything specific. But just to get that mindset of, I can go from idea to computer model to physical model in a day, less than a day, depending on what you're making, I think is such an integral part of our educational experience now. We've moved away from you've got to go to a machine shop, you've got to have someone else make it for you, to, as engineers, at our fingertips, we have the power to make our own things, whatever you want.
And that was one of the options we've talked about, right? Making dreams come true, right? Like Peter's mentioning how you pretty much have anything's available in your hands when you have your own 3D printer, right? It's a pretty cool thing to have.
I agree.
But tell me, Peter, what are some of the problems that you might have faced while 3D printing something? Any quality errors, or what are the main issues you've seen while 3D printing in this?
Now that is one thing is you do run into problems when you're working in this, just like anything else. So it probably took me 6 months to really feel like I had worked through a lot of issues. Even though I was able to print on the first or second week, it took a while to learn the problems. One of them is bed adhesion. You want your print to stick to the bottom of the bed and not pop off and not warp. So there's a lot of forums about that, a lot of different things you can do. Short answer is what you put down first. So I ended up using blue painter's tape. Another problem is figuring out how to support your material if it has overhangs. So if you print something straight up and down, it's not a problem. But if you want to print something that has an overhang and nothing supporting it, you have to use other material to hold it up. And just figuring out the best way to do that and the right softwares for that took a while and a lot of adjusting. I can go into more of those problems too, but there's just a couple.
Right. You definitely had to do a bunch of research to start getting it correct, you know?
Yeah, the great thing is everybody else has had those problems first.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
I just
right.
Google my problem and somebody else has said, oh, here's what you do, here's how you fix it. And it usually is there.
Yeah, that was one of the next question that could possibly. I mean, you kind of like answered a little bit about it, but like, how better have you gotten through like working in this type of business and like stuff like that could probably help somebody else who could potentially be a personal 3D printer?
I would say I've gotten a lot better over probably about a year of running the business. There's a lot of fast learning, and I would say I went from knowing very little about 3D printing to being comfortable with owning the business and doing whatever I needed to do. So the type of 3D printing I do is nothing that you'd use in an industrial setting. Those 3D printers, it's kind of like comparing a car to a big forklift.
Yeah.
There's things that you use in industry and there's things that you use every day. The type of 3D printer I have is more of an everyday use type printer, but in terms of that scope, I feel very comfortable. Maybe a 9 out of 10 in just a year, going from a 1 out of 10 to that. So there's a fast learning curve on them.
Any possibility of in the future partnering up with somebody or some company to do even greater things, you think?
I thought a lot about it. I've tried to think of new product ideas. I was mainly in the fidget spinner market. I know you guys have all heard of fidget spinners, but there's a lot of different things that you can do, and you can make whatever part you want. I actually had a couple product ideas that I was thinking of pairing up with a tooling company. Not specifically because through my 3D printing, but my 3D printing was allowing me to make prototypes for a product idea. Okay. So I could prototype my idea, iterate it, and I was planning to take it to a company like DeWalt or Black & Decker at some point.
And present it there.
Yep.
Anything that you'd like to say to future interest for people?
I would say that I don't know if this is who all's in the audience here, but mechanical engineers, once again, definitely worth the investment. I mean, don't go buy a new PS4, go buy a 3D printer, it's worth it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.